and its parent company Live Nation of illegally monopolizing the live entertainment industry.
That's right. And earlier we discussed how this suit could change live entertainment with Connecticut Attorney General William Tong.
80% of primary ticketing for major concert venues. It promotes and represents more than 400 artists, 265 major venues, 60 of the top 100 amphitheaters. There's not even a number two. They're number one all by themselves, and they control the entire industrial stack, from ticketing to fans to promotion to booking to venues, even concessions, food, hot dogs, T-shirts. They dominate and own it all, and everybody knows that. And that's why Democrats and Republicans, 29 of us, joined the Department of Justice in this lawsuit.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Attorney General. Why specifically did you join them in pursuing this, and how do you expect it to play out legally?
You know, because everybody knows and feels this monopoly every single day. I have two teenage girls, actually 18, she's an adult, 18 and 15. And I lived the physical manifestation of being in this fishbowl that's dominated and owned by Ticketmaster. I was at LaGuardia trying to get Taylor Swift tickets. When the portal opened at 10 o'clock, I was sitting at the gate. I looked around. Everybody else had their laptops open. Everybody else had their phones and iPads going. Everybody was stuck in this fishbowl dominated by one company trying to get tickets, and the privilege to spend hundreds of dollars per ticket just to see one show.
As to the reference of calling it monopoly, which that's the central allegation, here's what Live Nation says. Calling Ticketmaster a monopoly may be a PR win for the DOJ in the short term, but it will lose in court because it ignores the basic economics of live entertainment. They noted that competition has steadily eroded Ticketmaster's market share and profit margin. What's your reaction to that statement from Live Nation?
First of all, DOJ and the states and state attorneys general, we don't bring losers. We don't bring cases we're not going to win. And everybody knows they're a monopoly. Everybody knows how dominant they are. Everybody knows they make tens of billions of dollars, and they make money at every step along the way. The venues, the concessions, the promotion, the booking, the ticketing technology, all of it dominated by one company.
Attorney General, what will make this case that you've joined the DOJ in a success?
You know, I think we need to open up competition so it's not just one company that dominates everything in this space. So that if you're an artist and you want to book somewhere that's not a Live Nation venue, you can do that. If you're a fan and you want to buy a show and you don't want to use Ticketmaster, or if you're an artist and you don't want to use Ticketmaster, you have an option to use another ticketing platform that may be quicker, that may be more efficient, that may be cheaper, and that doesn't charge you all of these fees, right? The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, talked about the performance fee, the processing fee, the ticketing fee, the shipping fee, the handling fee. All of these junk fees that all of us pay on top of the now exorbitant sticker price or rack price of a ticket.
Live Nation also addressed that in their statement, saying the suit won't solve the issues fans care about relating to ticket prices, service fees, and access to in-demand shows. How will breaking them up solve the frustrations of the American people?
You know, it'll introduce competition. It'll break up a vertical integrated monopoly that by definition shuts out all the sunlight and doesn't enable people to come in and introduce price competition. But this idea that they're blaming artists and venues and cost, they drive all of that. They manage the artists, they manage the booking, they manage the promotion. They're the ones charging what it costs to book at a particular venue because they own them. Give me a break.
One thing, though, that they note in a blog post is that their overall net profit margin is at the very low end of S&P 500 companies.
Does anybody think that Ticketmaster and Live Nation is not making money? Please.
What's the next step in this case, Attorney General?
Look, this is going to be a big knockdown, drag them out slog, I think. You know, we have other major antitrust cases against Google, against Amazon, against Apple. I am sure that Live Nation and Ticketmaster have the best and most expensive lawyers on the planet, and they're ready to go to war. And so we expect this to be a big fight. But like those other companies, I mean, everybody knows that Amazon, Apple, Google are dominant, right? Everybody feels it. We live it every single day. And in the same way, we live it and feel it with Ticketmaster and Live Nation.
Probably drags on for years, to your point. Had a great chance to speak with the former FBI director, James Comey, last night in your neck of the woods at the Westport Library. We talked about another effort from the U.S., which is to ban TikTok. You know, TikTok has sued the U.S. government. This is something you've looked into considerably. Here's what the former FBI director told me last night. Listen.
Because the Chinese government has access to the personal information of millions of Americans, one, and two, has the ability to shape our information ecosystem through TikTok. And I don't care what TikTok says or ByteDance says about being walled off. You cannot be a company from China and be walled off from the PRC leadership. You just can't. And so it's a reason, it's one of the few things Democrats and Republicans agreed upon, because they've all gotten the briefings. TikTok is a wonderful thing. It cannot be controlled by an adversary of the United States. It just can't. India made the same decision and banned it, and the marketplace filled the desire of Indian young people to be able to see short-form videos. We'll be okay. We have to sever the ability of the Chinese government to control it.
The former FBI director has a book out, by the way, called Westport. Mr. Attorney General, what's your thoughts? How concerned are you about TikTok? Are they a national security threat?
Yeah, very concerned. And, you know, I'm just up the street from where you were. The national security issues are profound. You know, the privacy and economic security issues are profound. But what we attorneys general are focused on is the effect on young people and the content that young people see on TikTok. TikTok advertises itself as the happiest or safest place on the internet, and there is some fun stuff on there, but there's also content that's not appropriate for children. There's content that challenges young people to do destructive and dangerous things. And let me just say this, we're investigating TikTok. We're taking this threat as seriously as we can possibly take it, but we've already sued Meta, Facebook, Instagram, because of the damage that Meta does in the same way to young people, and also disinformation, misinformation, that affects all of us adults.
Thanks again to Connecticut Attorney General William Tong. Well, up next.